Admiral Jessica Iron Hand Cooper stood before the holographic display, her weathered features illuminated by the swirling blue light of the tactical projection. Deep beneath Mount Rushmore, in a command center that officially didn't exist, she watched as red dots representing the Xarani pirate fleet crossed the boundary of the Orc cloud. "They're right on schedule," she murmured, running her prosthetic right hand through her silver-streaked hair. The advanced carbon fiber fingers caught the light, a reminder of the last alien encounter that had cost her flesh and blood, and had taught humanity the vital lesson of appearing weaker than they were. "Admiral, we're picking up their communications," Lieutenant Sarah Wells reported from her station, her fingers dancing across the quantum interface. "They're laughing about our Voyager probe." Cooper allowed herself a small smile. "Of course they are. Play it on the main speaker." The command center filled with harsh, clicking sounds that the translation software quickly converted. "Look at this primitive artifact. These humans still use radio waves and nuclear power. This will be easier than raiding a Galactic nursery." Various officers around the room exchanged knowing looks. Earth had maintained its facade of technological inadequacy for over a century, keeping their true capabilities hidden beneath a carefully constructed veneer of struggling development. "Status of the defense grid?" Cooper asked, her voice steady despite the anticipation building in her chest. "All systems nominal, Admiral," Commander Tom Bradley responded from the weapons control station. "The quantum entanglement network is running at 100% efficiency. We're reading 37 capital ships in their fleet, with approximately 200 support vessels." Cooper nodded, walking around the holographic display. The pirates' formation was arrogant, spread out with minimal point defense coverage. They clearly weren't expecting any resistance worth noting. "What's the status of Project Lighthouse?" she asked, stopping at a particular point in the display where a seemingly innocent deep space monitoring station floated. "Dr. Matthews reports all transmitters are ready," Bradley replied. "The quantum snapshot of their shield frequencies will be complete once they pass the outer marker." Cooper touched her prosthetic hand to the display, expanding the view of the pirate fleet's flagship. The massive vessel bristled with weapons, its hull scarred from countless successful raids. Their database identified it as the Crimson Talon, commanded by High Commander Vexthor himself. "Time to arrival at Neptune's orbit?" she asked. "Approximately 6 hours at their current velocity, Admiral," Wells answered. Cooper straightened her uniform and addressed the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've spent generations preparing for this moment. Our ancestors recognized the threats that lurked among the stars and made the hardest choice possible: to hide our true strength, to appear weak and vulnerable, all while building the most sophisticated defensive network in known space." She gestured to the tactical display, where hidden weapon platforms, disguised as space debris and defunct satellites, tracked the approaching fleet. "Today, we spring the trap. Today, we show the galaxy why humanity chose to be the spider rather than the fly." The room hummed with quiet determination as officers monitored their stations. Years of training, countless drills, and meticulous preparation were about to pay off. "Send word to all outposts," Cooper commanded. "Operation Wet Weaver is now active. Let's show these pirates why you should never judge a species by its public face." As her orders were relayed through quantum channels, Cooper watched the pirate fleet's approach with the patient anticipation of a master strategist. Soon, the Xarani would learn that their long-range scans had missed something crucial about Earth. Everything they thought they knew was wrong. The first line of defense activated silently, invisible to all but the most sophisticated sensors. The trap was set, and humanity was ready to reveal just how deeply they'd been playing the long game. Lieutenant Mike Rodriguez pressed his hand against the ice-cold window of Europa Station Deep 6, watching the distant flickers of the pirate fleet through quantum imaging arrays. To any external scans, the station appeared to be nothing more than a frozen methane deposit, another unremarkable feature on Jupiter's moon. The reality was far more interesting. Tracking systems are locked on their primary vessels, his AI assistant Aria reported, her holographic form flickering beside him. The nanite payload is primed and ready for dispersal. Rodriguez checked the status of Project Honeypot one final time. The seemingly primitive communications satellite floating in the pirate's path was actually a masterpiece of human engineering. A Trojan horse packed with billions of microscopic tracking devices. "Show me their approach vector," he commanded. The viewport transformed into a tactical display, highlighting the Xarani fleet's trajectory with precision. "They're right where we want them." A flash of light caught his attention as the pirate's lead destroyer fired on the satellite. The explosion was spectacular, scattering debris and nanites across a wide area. Rodriguez allowed himself a grim smile as his sensors confirmed successful deployment. Wasps in the nest, he transmitted through the quantum network. The coded message would reach Earth's command center instantly, thanks to technology the pirates believed was centuries beyond human capability. Through his enhanced display, Rodriguez watched the microscopic nanites attach themselves to the pirate's hull plating. Each one was a marvel of engineering, capable of transmitting detailed sensor data while remaining undetectable to standard scans. The pirates had no idea they were being tagged like animals in a wildlife study. "Lieutenant," ARIA interrupted, "I'm detecting increased communications activity from the pirate fleet. They appear to be celebrating their victory over our satellite." Rodriguez switched to the intercepted transmissions. The harsh, clicking language of the Xarani filled his command center. "Did you see how easily it shattered? These humans don't even have basic shield technology." High Commander Vex Thor was right. "This system will fall before they even realize they're under attack." "ARIA, what's the nanite integration percentage?" Rodriguez asked, monitoring the swarm's progress. 78% of nanites have successfully attached to target vessels, she reported, beginning data transmission through quantum channels now. The first wave of information flooded his screens. Detailed schematics of the pirates' ships, shield frequencies, weapon configurations, and crew distributions. Everything humanity would need to dismantle a fleet piece by piece. "Lieutenant Rodriguez," a familiar voice came through his quantum comm. "Status report." It was Admiral Cooper herself. "Operation Honeypot is a complete success." "Admiral," he responded, straightening instinctively despite the video feed being off. "The nanite swarm is providing full spectrum analysis of their capabilities. They're exactly as vulnerable as we hoped." "Excellent work, Lieutenant. Initiate Phase 2. Rodriguez's fingers flew across his haptic interface, activating the next stage of humanity's trap. Throughout the outer solar system, countless dead satellites and space debris suddenly came to life, their quantum cores pulsing with hidden power. "ARIA, activate the Ghost Network," he commanded. "Let's give our guests the welcome they deserve." Across the void of space, humanity's true technological capabilities began to stir. The pirates, celebrating their easy destruction of a primitive satellite, had no idea they'd just sealed their fate. Each nanite now attached to their hulls was not just a tracking device, it was a key component in the most sophisticated targeting system ever developed. Transmitting targeting data to all defense grid nodes, ARIA confirmed. "Ghost Network is online and fully operational. We have their complete fleet signature locked and logged." Rodriguez sent the final confirmation code. The web is woven. As he watched the pirate fleet continue their confident approach, he couldn't help but feel a touch of pity. They thought they were the predators in this story. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Commander Ashley "Ghost" Thompson felt the familiar surge of adrenaline as her stealth fighter, the Shadow Dancer, detached from its hiding place within a hollowed-out Kuiper Belt asteroid. 11 other vessels, each a masterpiece of human phase-shift technology, emerged silently beside her. "Ghost Squadron, sound off," she commanded, her neural interface displaying each pilot's status in her augmented vision. "Wraith, standing by. Phantom, ready to dance. Spectre, weapons hot. Banshee, phase drives nominal. The rest of her squadron checked in as they watched the pirate fleet approach. To the enemy's sensors, they would appear as nothing more than standard mining vessels, their true nature masked by quantum camouflage systems that had taken decades to perfect. "Remember your training," Thompson broadcast to her team. "Phase shift on my mark. Target their shield generators first. No one fires until we're inside their perimeter." Through her neural feed, Thompson watched as the nanite data streamed in, showing every weakness in the pirates' formation. Their arrogance was staggering. They hadn't even bothered to maintain proper point defense coverage. "High Commander," a Xarani tactical officer reported aboard their flagship, "we're detecting some mining vessels ahead. Shall we destroy them as a warning to the humans?" Vexthor's clicking laughter echoed through the bridge. "Let them watch. Let them see what real spacefaring power looks like. It will make their submission all the sweeter." The pirates adjusted course slightly to pass near the mining vessels, intending to intimidate what they thought were civilian ships. It was exactly what Thompson had been waiting for. Ghost Squadron, phase shift in 3, 2, 1, mark. In perfect synchronization, 12 Earth vessels seemingly blinked out of existence. The phase shift drives, humanity's greatest technological achievement, allowed them to briefly exist slightly out of normal spacetime, just enough to pass through energy shields as if they weren't there. The pirates' first warning was Thompson's voice over their comm systems. Surprise! Ghost Squadron materialized inside the pirates' shield perimeters, their weapon systems already locked on crucial targets. Thompson's neural interface highlighted shield generators, weapon nodes, and engine systems in rapid succession. "What impossible?" Vexthor's exclamation was cut short as precision plasma bursts from the Earth vessels struck with surgical accuracy. "Time to show them why they call us Ghost Squadron," Thompson commanded. "Execute attack pattern Delta 7. Her pilots responded with practiced precision. Each fighter phased in and out of normal space, appearing at impossible angles, striking critical systems before the pirates could even track their movements. The quantum targeting systems, fed by the nanite network, ensured every shot found its mark. "This cannot be." Vexthor raged as reports of devastation flooded his bridge. "Their technology is primitive. They barely have space flight." Thompson's voice came through their comms again, cold and precise. "Consider this a lesson in appearances, Commander. You're not the first to underestimate humanity, but you might be the last." 3 pirate vessels exploded in quick succession, their shield generators overloaded by phase-shifted torpedo strikes. Others began to drift, their engines disabled by precisely targeted shots. "Ghost Squadron, initiate second attack run," Thompson ordered, her ship dancing through space in ways that defied conventional physics. "Let's show them what else we've been hiding." As her squadron continued their assault, Thompson sent a brief status update through the quantum network. Phase 1 of Kuiper Belt defense successful. Pirates have lost 18% of their fleet functionality. Proceeding with Phase 2. She allowed herself a small smile as she watched the pirates' formation dissolve into chaos. They had expected to find primitive humans cowering in fear. Instead, they'd found themselves caught in a web of humanity's most advanced technology, facing an enemy that could literally phase through their strongest defenses. The real battle was just beginning, and Ghost Squadron was about to remind the galaxy why you should never judge a book by its cover, especially when that book has spent centuries preparing for this exact moment. Colonel James Storm Rider Martins watched Jupiter's swirling storms from his command post within the gas giant's upper atmosphere. The reinforced station, hidden within a perpetual anticyclone, represented one of humanity's greatest engineering achievements and one of its best-kept secrets. Gravity manipulation platforms are charged and ready, his XO, Major Diana Wells, reported. All 147 nodes are synchronized. Martinez nodded, his neural implants processing real-time data from the quantum network. Ghost Squadron had bloodied the pirates' nose, but Vexthor's remaining ships were regrouping, their formation tightening as they approached Jupiter. They'd learned caution, but not enough. "Status of the bait fleet?" he asked, watching the holographic tactical display. "The 7th Fleet is in position, Colonel, looking appropriately outdated and vulnerable." The fleet was a masterpiece of deception. Older ships that had been retrofitted with just enough modern technology to make them effective while maintaining their antiquated appearance. They were currently executing a textbook retreat toward Jupiter, appearing to flee in disarray. "High Commander," the tactical feed from the pirate flagship crackled through their interceptors. "The humans are attempting to use Jupiter's gravity to slingshot their vessels. Shall we pursue?" "Of course we pursue." Vex Thor raged, his pride wounded by Ghost Squadron's attack. "These primitives got lucky once with their phase technology. They won't surprise us again." Martinez allowed himself a grim smile. If he only knew. "Major Wells, activate the gravity wells. Let's show them why they call me Storm Rider." Across Jupiter's turbulent surface, hidden platforms began to pulse with exotic energy. Decades of research into gravity manipulation were about to pay off. The science was simple in theory: create localized areas of intense gravitational force, turning Jupiter's already powerful pull into a weapon. "Pirate fleet has crossed the outer marker," Wells announced. "They're committed to the pursuit." Martinez opened a channel to the 7th Fleet. "Execute Maneuver Poseidon's Fork." The Earth vessels split into 3 groups, each taking a different trajectory through Jupiter's gravity well. To the pirates, it would appear as panicked desperation. In reality, they were precisely arranged to herd the enemy fleet into position. "Gravity platforms at full power," Wells reported. "Awaiting your command." Martinez watched as the final pieces fell into place. The pirates had spread their formation to chase all 3 groups of Earth ships, exactly as planned. "Execute Operation Maelstrom." The effect was immediate and devastating. Focused gravity beams lanced out from the hidden platforms, invisible but incredibly powerful. The first wave caught the pirate ships broadside, yanking them off course. "By the eternal void," Vex Thor's voice shouted over the comm. "What's happening to our ships?" The pirates found themselves caught in a complex web of gravitational forces. Some ships were pulled toward Jupiter's surface, while others were flung outward. Their tight formation shattered as each vessel fought against forces they couldn't even see. "Second wave, initiate," Martinez commanded. The gravity platforms pulsed again, creating a cascading series of gravitational eddies. Pirate ships spun helplessly, their engines straining against forces they were never designed to resist. "Colonel," Wells reported with professional satisfaction, 23 enemy vessels have suffered critical engine failures. 15 more are reporting structural damage from the gravitational shear. Martinez activated his neural link to the quantum network. "Admiral Cooper, Jupiter Defense reporting. The gravity trap was successful. Enemy fleet is divided and significantly damaged. Requesting permission to proceed with capture operations." "Permission granted, Colonel." Cooper's voice came back instantly. "Well done. Secure as many of their ships as possible. Our xenotechnologists are eager to study their hardware." Martinez turned to his crew. "Deploy the containment teams. Let's show these pirates how humanity handles cleanup operations." As he watched the specialized recovery vessels move in to secure the crippled pirate ships, Martinez couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. The pirates had come expecting to find a primitive civilization barely capable of interplanetary travel. Instead, they'd found a humanity that could bend gravity itself to its will. And they still hadn't seen Earth's best weapons yet. Major Kate "Red Devil" Sullivan stood in the center of Olympus Command, surrounded by holographic displays showing the approaching remnants of the pirate fleet. Around her, the supposedly primitive Mars colony was transforming. What appeared to be residential domes and research stations smoothly retracted into the ground, revealing batteries of advanced weapon systems. "All installations reporting ready, Major," her tactical officer, Captain Ryan Chen, announced. "The facade is complete, dropping on your mark." Sullivan nodded, her cybernetic eyes tracking multiple data streams simultaneously. For decades, she played the role of struggling colonial administrator, making sure every visiting dignitary saw exactly what they expected. A primitive human settlement barely surviving on the harsh Martian surface. High Commander, she heard through the quantum intercepts, the humans are attempting to rally at Mars. Their colonists are evacuating to underground shelters. Vex Thor's response was strained but determined. Good. Let them hide. We'll strip their colony bare once we secure orbit. They never learn, do they? Sullivan mused. Captain Chen, initiate defense protocol Ares. Let's show them what Mars really is. The surface of Mars began to change. What appeared to be natural features, craters, ridges, and vast plains of red dust, shifted and transformed. Millions of panels slid aside, revealing the truth. The entire planet had been converted into a weapons platform. My God, one of the pirate officers transmitted. The whole planet. It's artificial. Correction, Sullivan broadcast on all frequencies. It's weaponized. Welcome to humanity's kill box, gentlemen. She gestured to her weapons officer. Launch the first wave. Pattern Delta. The ground trembled as launch silos hidden beneath the Martian poles activated. Streams of plasma torpedoes, each guided by quantum AI, erupted from the surface. They formed intricate patterns in the sky, creating a web of destructive energy that no ship could navigate safely. Impossible. Vex Thor rage. Their weapons are beyond anything we've encountered. How long have they hidden this? Sullivan allowed herself a small smile. Longer than your species has been spacefaring, Commander. Computer, activate the Phobos array. Mars, a larger moon, long thought to be a captured asteroid, suddenly lit up with energy signatures. The entire moon was actually a massive sensor platform, coordinating the defense grid's targeting systems with microscopic precision. Major, Chen reported, the enemy fleet is attempting to scatter. Shall we deploy the Deimos nets? Execute. Mars's smaller moon pulsed with power as it launched clouds of self-replicating nanite webs, designed to entangle and disable enemy ships. The pirates found themselves caught between three layers of defense. The plasma torpedoes from the surface, the targeting array of Phobos, and the neutralizing nets from Deimos. You know what the best part is, Commander? Sullivan transmitted to Vex Thor. Everything you're seeing right now, it's last century's technology. We kept it here on Mars because it was obsolete by Earth standards. The pirate fleet's formation completely broke as ships desperately tried to escape the overlapping fields of fire. Some attempted to jump to FTL, only to find their drives neutralized by the nanite nets. Status report, Sullivan demanded. 37 enemy vessels disabled. Chen replied. 22 attempting retreat. 8 have surrendered, Major. Sullivan opened a quantum channel to Earth Command. Admiral Cooper, Mars Defense reporting. Phase 5 complete. The enemy fleet is neutralized, and we've got some volunteers for diplomatic relations. Excellent work, Major. Cooper's voice came back. Secure the prisoners and prepare for Phase 6. I believe General Brooks is eager to show off what we've done with the moon. Sullivan looked out at the chaos they'd created, watching the once mighty pirate fleet reduced to floating hulks and surrendering vessels. Mars, the planet they'd thought was barely colonized, had just demonstrated why humanity had spent centuries preparing for this moment. Captain Chen, she ordered, begin prisoner processing, and make sure our guests have a clear view of Earth during their approach. I want them to see what's coming next. The Red Planet, now bristling with revealed weapon systems, continued its silent orbit as humanity's greatest defensive installation. And it wasn't even their most impressive one. General David Shadowmaker Brooks stood at the viewport of Lunar Command Alpha, watching Earth's pale blue form hanging in the void. Behind him, hundreds of officers worked at quantum terminals, preparing for what would be humanity's most dramatic reveal yet. Status of the holographic facade, he asked, his augmented vocal cords rumbling with artificial depth. Operating at 99.8% efficiency, General Lieutenant Emma Reeves reported. The pirates still think they're seeing a natural satellite. Brooks nodded, his cybernetic eye tracking the approaching remnants of Vex Thor's fleet. The pirates, battered and humiliated by their encounters with Earth's outer defenses, were making their final desperate push toward what they believed was their last chance at victory. "Let them get closer," Brooks commanded. "I want them to have the best possible view when we drop our mask." The moon had been humanity's greatest deception. While the world watched grainy footage of the first lunar landing, they'd missed the massive construction projects happening on the far side. Now, after centuries of preparation, the moon wasn't just a military base, it was the largest space dock ever constructed. "Sir," Reeves called out, "the enemy fleet has crossed the L1 point. They're committed to lunar orbit." "Perfect." Brooks opened a channel to the approaching ships. "High Commander Vex Thor, I believe it's time we showed you what humanity's first step into space really looks like." He made a slashing gesture with his hand. "Deactivate the lunar camouflage. All units, battle stations." The transformation was breathtaking. The moon's familiar cratered surface rippled and vanished as the quantum holographic system deactivated. In its place, a vast artificial structure emerged. Launch bays large enough to house entire fleets opened along the equator. Weapon systems that dwarfed anything the pirates had seen emerged from beneath the surface. By all that's sacred, Vex Thor's transmission came through clearly. "What are you?" "We're humanity," Brooks responded, watching as massive armored doors split the lunar surface, revealing Earth's true warships. "And we've been expecting pirates like you for a very long time." The vessels that emerged from the moon's hidden docks bore little resemblance to the primitive ships the pirates had encountered in the outer system. These were humanity's real warships, sleek, deadly, and powered by technology that made the pirates' most advanced systems look like children's toys. "General," Reeves reported, excitement breaking through her professional demeanor, "all lunar defense systems are online. The Artemis fleet is launched and assuming attack positions." Brooks allowed himself a thin smile. "Deploy the quantum barrier. Let's make sure none of our guests leave early." A shimmering field of energy expanded from the lunar surface, enclosing the remaining pirate vessels in an inescapable net of quantum-locked space. FTL travel would be impossible within its bounds. "You've been hiding this, all of this, beneath a hologram." Vex Thor's voice had lost its arrogance, replaced by dawning comprehension. "For centuries," Brooks confirmed. "Every crater, every natural feature was carefully designed to conceal our true capabilities. Your long-range scans showed you exactly what we wanted you to see, a simple rock orbiting a primitive world." The Artemis fleet, humanity's finest warships, moved into position around the trapped pirate vessels. Each ship was a masterpiece of engineering, incorporating every technological advancement humanity had carefully hidden from the galaxy. "General Brooks," Admiral Cooper's voice came through on a private channel. "Is the lunar defense grid prepared for Phase 7? "Affirmative, Admiral. The moon is ready to support Earth's revelation, though I doubt our visitors will be in any condition to resist after what they've seen here." Brooks turned to his command staff, satisfaction evident in his expression. "Prepare boarding operations. I want control of those ships intact. Our engineers have some theories about their technology they'd like to confirm." As the Lunar Defense Forces moved to secure the remaining pirate vessels, Brooks couldn't help but appreciate the irony. The pirates had come to raid what they thought was a vulnerable world. Instead, they'd found themselves trapped between the Earth and the moon. Humanity's hammer and anvil, waiting to strike. And Earth's reveal would be the most impressive yet. Dr. Emily Circuit Breaker Blackwood stood in the crystalline control room of the Orbital Defense Network, her hands dancing across holographic interfaces as she prepared to reveal her life's work. The captured pirate ships hung motionless between Earth and its transformed moon, their crews watching in stunned silence. "All planetary shield generators are synchronized," her AI assistant Titan reported. Quantum matrix is stable and ready for activation. 20 years of preparation, Blackwood murmured, her neural implants pulsing with anticipation. Let's make it count. Admiral Cooper, we're ready on your mark. Execute final reveal. Cooper's voice came through, clear and commanding. Show them why Earth is the heart of humanity's defense. Blackwood's fingers traced a complex pattern in the air, initiating planetary defense grid activation, dropping atmospheric camouflage in 3, 2, 1. The view of Earth from space transformed. The familiar blue marble shimmered as layers of hidden technology revealed themselves. What appeared to be simple weather patterns resolved into vast energy matrices. The seemingly primitive satellite network suddenly pulsed with power, each node connecting to form an interlocking grid of destructive capability. Impossible. Vexthor's voice trembled across the communications channel. Your entire planet is a weapon. Not just a weapon, Blackwood responded, pride evident in her voice. A fortress. Computer, activate the shield array. Multiple layers of energy shields materialized around Earth, each operating on different quantum frequencies. The atmospheric defense grid, hidden for centuries beneath the guise of natural weather patterns, came fully online. Thousands of advanced weapon platforms, previously cloaked as space debris, revealed their true nature. Dr. Blackwood, her senior technician, called out, "We're detecting attempts at deep scans from the pirate vessels. Their sensors are going haywire trying to categorize our technology." "Let them look," she replied. "Titan, disable the remaining camouflage systems. Show them everything." The transformation continued. Massive defense platforms emerged from perfect cloaking fields, their size dwarfing anything the pirates had ever encountered. The equatorial ring, which had appeared as a cluster of communications satellites, revealed itself as a continuous energy weapon capable of engaging targets anywhere in the solar system. "You've achieved planetary quantum shielding," one of the pirate scientists transmitted, their voice filled with awe. That's supposed to be theoretical." "Theory." Blackwood laughed softly. "We perfected it 50 years ago. What you're seeing now is the third generation of the technology." She brought up a detailed display of the defense grid's capabilities. Earth's entire atmosphere had been transformed into a programmable defense system, capable of intercepting and neutralizing any threat. The planet's magnetic field had been weaponized, able to disrupt enemy systems with pinpoint accuracy. "Admiral Cooper," Blackwood reported, "the planetary defense grid is fully operational. All systems are showing optimal performance." "Excellent work, Doctor. High Commander Vexthor, are you prepared to discuss terms of surrender?" The pirate leader's response was barely a whisper. What are you?" "We're humanity." Cooper's voice was firm. "We recognized the dangers of space long before we officially left our atmosphere. Every achievement you've witnessed, from our phase shift technology to our planetary quantum shields, was developed in secret while we maintained the facade of a primitive species." Blackwood watched as her systems cataloged the pirates' remaining vessels. Their most advanced technology was centuries behind Earth's capabilities. The quantum sensors revealed every detail of their ship's construction, every weakness in their design. "Final defense grid synchronization complete," Titan announced. "Earth's full combat capabilities are now online." The display showed the true extent of humanity's power. The entire planet was encased in overlapping fields of defensive and offensive systems, each capable of adapting to any threat. The atmosphere itself could be weaponized in milliseconds, transformed from life-giving air to an impenetrable barrier. "Admiral," Blackwood reported, "we're ready for final containment protocols." As the defense grid hummed with power, Blackwood allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. The pirates had come expecting to find a vulnerable world. Instead, they discovered that humanity had turned their entire planet into the most sophisticated weapon ever conceived, and they still hadn't seen everything Earth could do. Admiral Jessica Cooper stood in the crystalline observation deck of Earth's primary diplomatic station, watching as the captured pirate vessels were systematically secured by humanity's advanced containment fields. High Commander Vexthor, now stripped of his weapons and command devices, stood beside her, his towering form diminished by what he had witnessed. "Your entire civilization," Vexthor clicked softly, "everything we thought we knew about humans. It was all deliberately crafted." "Every single detail," Cooper confirmed, her prosthetic hand gesturing to the holographic displays showing Earth's unveiled might. The primitive satellites, the struggling Mars colony, the simple lunar base, all carefully maintained illusions. The quantum screens around them displayed real-time feeds from across the solar system. Ghost Squadron's phase-shift fighters patrolled the outer reaches. The gravity weapons of Jupiter continued their silent watch. Mars's surface still bristled with revealed weaponry, while the Moon's massive naval yards launched more of humanity's true warships. "But why?" the pirate commander asked. "With this level of technology, you could have dominated the galaxy." Cooper smiled, but there was steel in her expression. "Because, Commander, we learned something vital during our first encounters with alien life. The greatest power lies not in showing strength, but in choosing when to reveal it." She brought up historical recordings, centuries of carefully crafted performances. Humanity had played the role of a young, struggling civilization, while building the most formidable defensive network ever conceived. "Your fleet wasn't the first to test our defenses," Cooper continued, "but we intend for it to be the last. Titan, initiate galaxy-wide broadcast." The AI's voice resonated through the chamber, broadcasting on all known frequencies, using captured pirate communication networks for maximum dispersion. Cooper straightened her uniform and addressed the galaxy. "To all spacefaring civilizations, what you have witnessed today is humanity's response to centuries of predation upon developing worlds. Every aggressive scan of our system, every subtle probe of our defenses, was noted and analyzed. We used your own reconnaissance to perfect our deception." The displays showed the message reaching across space, being picked up by countless worlds and vessels. "Earth is not, and never was, a primitive world ripe for conquest. We are the guardians who chose to appear vulnerable so that we could identify those who prey upon the truly defenseless. Our solar system is a sentinel post, watching for those who mistake technological restraint for weakness." Reports began flooding in. Pirate fleets across the galaxy were going dark, retreating from their hunting grounds. The message was having its intended effect. "To those who share our values of peace and mutual respect, we welcome diplomatic contact. To those who survive by predation and conquest, be warned. What you witnessed in our system today is but a fraction of humanity's true capabilities." Vexthor shifted uncomfortably. "The consequences of this revelation are exactly what we intended," Cooper finished. "Your fleet's defeat isn't just a military victory. It's a message to the galaxy. Humanity isn't merely capable of defending itself. We've been silently guarding against threats like you for generations." The quantum feeds showed the impact spreading across known space. Civilizations that had dismissed Earth as primitive were frantically reassessing their intelligence. Predator species that had marked the Sol system for future conquest were erasing those plans. "Admiral," Titan reported, "we're receiving diplomatic contact requests from 27 previously hostile civilizations. They're all requesting peaceful negotiations." Cooper nodded. "It seems they finally understand. Sometimes the most powerful player is the one who chooses to wait in silence, watching and preparing." She turned to Vexthor. "Your fleet will be studied, your technology analyzed, and your crews treated according to interstellar law. But most importantly, you'll serve as living proof that humanity's apparent weakness was the galaxy's most elaborate trap." As the pirate commander was led away, Cooper looked out at Earth, her home, now unveiled in all its technological glory. The atmospheric defense grid shimmered with power, the orbital platforms maintained their vigilant watch, and humanity's true warships patrolled with obvious superiority. The message was clear. The galaxy's predators had finally found their match, and humanity's long game of deception had achieved exactly what they'd spent centuries preparing for. Peace through revealed strength. The trap had sprung perfectly, and the galaxy would never be the same.